frères à nous portent leur jardin autour du cou. J'en ai chaque matin l'encens sur l'autel brûle. En grandissant tu roules en immeuble qui brille. 3 fois la tête au sol t'es dévot. Salut quelques centaines de plus dans mon dos. Toucher le jackpot c'est du gâteau. Attendre la river card c'est bien plus chaud. Viens là, tu viens. Viens là, tu viens. Viens là, tu viens. Viens là, tu viens. Le but c'est intérêt sur intérêt. La chance rentre par toutes les fenêtres. En lâchant les billets, on accumule. Tu bouges pas, arrête tes fables. Cette main file direct au flop. Je claque pour tisser mes contacts. Technique solide, couille au max. Petite blind 3-9 dans l'axe. D'abord je rends à la communauté. Ensuite je prends la couronne. Après trop de monde vient réclamer ses dettes. Vaut mieux jouer la carte de l'honnêteté. Le noir ou le blanc a toujours un prix là. Sur le podium, ferme ta bouche. Reste humble là. Même la table des immortels sans légumes.
Question is, how do I monitor chat?
Est, ouest, nord-est, sud-est, nord-ouest, sud-ouest. On monte pas après pas. La thune vient des 8 directions. Les 4 mers c'est chez nous. Longue vie à la famille. Que tout soit dans la joie, que tout soit béni. Que tout roule à ta façon, vent dans le dos. Le ciel récompense qui bosse, belle avenir à toi. Tu reconnais pas le travail?
My viewers, one. All right. We shall see what happens there. Hope you're all doing well. Okay. All right, so today we begin. This is the entry for the Gallery World Creators Cup, sci-fi edition, or sci-fi segment of the competition. We're building the Psycho Zaku, and it's going to be very fun. It's going to be exciting to see how this all turns out, but the key here is that we've got to start somewhere. And I started by trimming up all my pieces. That's pretty normal for me. That's where I begin. And with that, I now have all of the parts laid out in bins. Lots and lots of pieces. There's those, and then I have another bin right over here. I trim them out by the step in the book. When I do this, I go through and I'm not exceptionally cautious about the nub marks. I mean, I try to trim the nub marks well, but I'm just at this stage of the game, I'm not worrying about cleaning up a ton of nub marks. And the reason for that is because when I get this mold put together and I snap it together, I'm going to wind up going through it and identifying different areas that need work. And one of those things I look for are nub marks that are visible. There are lots of nub points, attachment points, that are ultimately hidden in the final assembly. And I don't really need to spend a ton of time working those out, making them look super pristine. Especially with the kit like this that has literally hundreds of parts. If I spend a second per, that's a lot of time. If I spend 5 or 6 seconds per, it's a ton of time. Not that it's not worth it, but with a kit like this is a big build. You gotta choose your battles. So here's what we're gonna do. We got our parts. I don't know how I'm gonna situate this on the camera very well, but we've got our parts separated by steps, and then we've got our booklet. So let's build. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build. We are going to snap this bad boy together. So I don't know how to tell if I have people watching. Hey, if somebody's watching, say hi in the chat, because I don't really know what I'm doing streaming on YouTube, and so it'd be interesting to see a chat come through and see if it actually works. So, but as we start this build, step 1, we're going to start on the body segment of the Zaku, starting on the body. And if you're not familiar with the Gallery World Cup, World Creators Cup, it's a new competition. There's a paint and airbrush company named Gallery that I don't even know where they're from, Hong Kong or something, but they are really very community focused, and they've put together this fun little 4-month-long competition in which people from various different segments of the hobby space can compete. And this is my first time doing a Gundam competition, a Gunpla competition, and it's pretty exciting. I'm excited to be able to do it, but it's not just about building a kit, it's also about engaging with people and engaging with folks in the space around us, in the community. And so I've got my Instagram account, Gunpla for Joy. You can find my stuff there. I've also got my YouTube channel, which is pretty dismal at the moment. I don't have much out there for videos. You know, that might change. I'm a busy person, sadly. I mean, maybe not sadly, but I, you know, unfortunately, I don't have a ton of free time, and so I have to go slow for things like this and getting content made. And so I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to slow roll it, but that's okay. That's all right, because the key is just to have fun and do things that we enjoy, that bring us joy. So here's all the little pieces, bits and pieces for step 1 in this snap build. Lots of little bits and pieces. And this kit, as I found when I was clipping all the parts out, there's a lot of very tiny parts, and that's cool though. But I've got big fingers, so that makes it fun, interesting. Okay, so we got those out. Those are step 1 parts. We're just gonna close this up, set it aside. I did learn early in my modeling adventures that when I do this and then I go to set my pieces aside, I really need to make sure that I clip the container, because I have more than once I have dumped the container, and that is a sad occurrence, my friends. That is a sad occurrence. You do that, you just sort of cry. But all right, let's see where we're at here. Now, the interesting thing about doing this way is that it does leave you to approach this almost like a Lego kit. I've already cut out the pieces, right? I don't know the numbers of these particular pieces, so I have to look at the pictures, and I have to discern what is what in these parts. And some may say that just is unnecessary, and maybe that it would create just extra work. And I agree, it does create extra work, but it is not entirely unnecessary. I actually find that by doing this, because I'm going to touch these parts multiple times through the build process, right? Through painting and all the things that I'm ultimately going to do with these parts. And so this is my first way to be able to look at the parts in the kit and get a feel for them and get an understanding of what they look like, how they go together, get a feel for how they fit. So like this particular piece, we're just like literally one piece in, but man, this is a tight fit. Now it works pretty good though. You see here, it's gonna, as you pull that, it's gonna articulate, right? But it's a tight fit. So that's good to know, because before I get ready to prime this, I'm gonna have to sand that out a little bit. I'm not gonna totally loosen it up, but I'm gonna loosen it up, because if I don't, we're gonna have a problem when I go to put it together after it's been painted. So here we have this next piece, and yeah, so I actually find that taking this approach, attempting it this way, actually helps me get to know the kit better, because by the time I have done this work, I have done some customization to it and have pulled it apart and I'm ready to paint it, I know which parts are which pretty well, and I'm able to identify them and more easily organize them and set them aside where they need to be. So that is why I do it this way. Now, other people have different methods. That's okay. No problem. Everybody has their own thing, their own way of doing stuff, and we're just gonna keep doing it the way we do it. Anyways, so this piece, and take this. Is that right? Yep, that's the one. I think. Oh yeah. Slot right there. Okay. So, as I was talking about before, the GWCC competition. I don't even know how many people are in it. That would be maybe a good thing to know. I do think, based on looking at their website, that the sci-fi group, which is the group that that I'm taking part in, I do believe they've said that, or well, they haven't said, but I've looked online and it looks like there are quite a few folks in the sci-fi category. It's a pretty big category. It's I mean, it includes Gundams, it includes all sorts of different things, and so it's sort of a broad spectrum. Check out this little pilot. It's sort of fun. Oh, we're gonna zoom. Let's see here. Can we very carefully focus? Keep focus. No, he's really tiny. Little dude in there. That would be Daryl. So, since this is a competition, really heavily focused on community involvement, I decided for this kit that I would leave it up to my community to pick various aspects of this build. And what that means is I have put it to a vote. Several different things. So the theme for the build was voted on by users or by people. And the kit that we're building right now, the Psycho Zaku, was picked by a community of people. Next, right now, people are actually voting on the pilot in paint scheme for this kit. And so there's 3 options that I'm giving people, and so they get to vote on those. You can vote as well. You can go to Instagram to Gunpla for Joy, at Gunpla for Joy, and there's a reel in there that you can vote on the pilot / color scheme. I'll explain this here in a moment. But the idea was to give people the ability to help guide the path for this, and it has not disappointed thus far. So, okay, so these are going to go in. This is going to go in here. But here's the first interesting thing. Whenever we have pegs, these kind of little pegs, right there, that little guy, and we have these holes, like this one, that they need to go in. They're typically pretty tight, and because of that, I need to open it up. So I'm actually going to set this guy down. And the way I do this, now there's probably many other ways, probably better ways, but I put my clip nippers in the hole and I snip and wiggle like that. And all that does is just give a little bit of relief to that hole. And that is going to be helpful later on, because I'm going to have to reassemble this bad boy at some point. And there's little ones here. And I need a little bit of wiggle room, because the last thing I want to do is scrape up parts, break parts, and do things like that when I go to reassemble this guy, right? That's no bueno. There we are. Let's see here. Sorry, I keep switching back over there. If somebody's watching, then you're welcome to make a comment, chat something in. I am interested to know if you can hear the audio coming through, the music and the microphone. Would be good to know, because I mentioned it before, this is my first bigger stream. Bigger is a loose term. I don't know that anybody's watching, so I don't know that big is the term I would use, but it's my first stream. It's going to be a little bit longer, and so I want to make sure people can hear if they happen to jump in. I don't have grand illusions that a ton of people are going to be watching, but if people are there, I want them to hear. All right, so check this out. This is fun. So if you've never seen a Zaku before, this side of the chest is where the pilot sits. And there's a little platform, and they get on it and they go in there. And in this model, this is really fun gimmick. The slides. Oh, it's so sad. You can't see in there. Oh, Daryl, you're in there somewhere. He's in there. So you can slide it open. You can see Daryl. Hang on. Use my phone. Camera. Can you see him? Is he in there? Let's see. Can we get an angle where we can see Darren in his. Oh, there he is. Maybe we can see it. Oh, there he is. Oh, dang. I'm no good at this thing. Okay, let's see him. He's in there. You can sort of see him. There's his head. Right there, there's his head. That's Daryl Lawrence, the pilot of the Psycho Zaku. He is hanging out. Looks like a piece of plastic at the moment, but one day he will look like a painted piece of plastic. And that will be glorious. He will look like Daryl Lawrence, pilot of the Psycho Zaku. But that's sort of a fun little gimmick that you can close and open his door. I didn't know that was a thing. That's really cool. I love these things. This is why I find joy in doing this. People say, why do you do this? Why do you build these kits? This is why. Like, that's who thought that, guys? What a fun, original, cute idea that is. There's a lot of cool little detail just on that door itself. And one day I'll paint it and it's gonna look cool. Just saying. This is why I find joy in this stuff. So, anyways, let's see what we were talking about. We were talking about the GWCC competition. Oops, I need this piece. And so, the first time I've done anything like this, so I put it to a vote to people on the storyline, or the basic storyline, and the now this is where it's tough because these pieces look awfully similar. One has all, one doesn't. And I gotta figure out. I think I know. It goes like this. It's gotta go like this. I'm gonna be silly if it didn't go like this. Okay. So now these holes are not going to be very easy to make larger or to loosen up with peppers. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these pegs, these little peggies, these pegs. We're just gonna snip at an angle. Just remove a little bit of material. And we're not trying to completely annihilate pegs. We're just pulling off a little bit of material. And the key there is that we can loosen up how tight this little doodad is for later on when we get around to customizing, painting, doing all those fun little aspects of this car. I think it's on nice. And so it still holds together. It's still together. Great. Everything's happy. Everybody's happy. But one day, when I have to remove this and take it apart, it's going to be very simple to pull apart. See? So, I let my community vote. And what they chose for the theme of this build is a horrible, no good, a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That was very, like the child's book. The book about Arthur. I think that's his name. Alexander. It's Alexander. I think that's his name is Alexander. And the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day that he has. And so that's the theme that they chose. And so we have to make this Psycho Zaku have a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. But when people voted on the theme, they didn't know what kit it was going to be. So then after we got the theme, people voted on the kit. And of 3 of my kits that I have in my backlog. They picked, it was the Crossbone full cloth, or the Epion, or this guy. And of course they picked the Psycho Zaku, because why not pick the hardest kit in my... Maybe it's not the hardest, but just for me personally, the most intimidating kit in my backlog. Hey Max, don't get into the food. My dog is down here milling around, and he's thinking he's gonna try to get into the food. So this is the lower part of the chest. Pretty cool. Let's see, what are we doing next? Okay. We take this part that we already assembled, and we slot him on there. Boom. Snaps in place. Just like that. Cool as that. Now the neat thing is, there's a little bit of wiggle. Wiggle. Okay, that's intentional. It's meant to be that way. But that's cool. Some of these details are neat. These are pistons, hydraulics. So one day those will be painted chrome on the hydraulic. It'll be awesome. And so people picked, they chose the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day as the theme. They chose the Psycho Zaku. And so that's what we're doing. And now I have to take it through execution, right? So that everybody else gets to vote and then watch and see what happens. And I am the one who gets to actually make it happen. So that's pretty cool. And I'm okay with that. I wanted to challenge myself for this competition. This was not about getting off easy. This was not about doing something halfway. It was about stretching myself and growing myself in this hobby. It's also stretching me because I'm streaming something on YouTube, which I don't normally do. It's certainly a new experience for me. You know what we should do? We should take this. How do we do that? I don't know. Folks, I'm really bad with social media, because I would love to just like post this to Instagram and say, hey, I'm live. Go look me up and join me. Maybe I'll do it on my phone. Maybe I won't show my phone to the camera like I did earlier. Let's see. Just a moment here. So people voted, and it was a glorious vote. They picked, and now we're going to be picking the what do you call it? Oh, the paint scheme, and who the pilot is. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna take a camera. Okay. Oh. All right, I'll take a camera. Take a picture. What am I doing here? There we go. There we go. Okay. Ooh, okay. Hang on, guys. Hang on, folks. Hang on. There we go. Let's do a post. Allow. Yes, I have allowed camera. What are you asking me for here? Oh my goodness. I'm terrible with this stuff, guys. Terrible. Horrible, no good, very bad thing. That's right. That's right. Just like my Gundam, I'm having a technology terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Okay. I got a picture. Let's throw that picture up on Instagram, folks. Let's do it. We're going to post. Boom. up on Instagram, folks. Let's do it. We're gonna post. Boom. Let's try this. Let's try this. Yo, join me for my first build stream on YouTube. Gunpla for joy. There we go. And I'm just going to share that. I don't know who's going to see it. Maybe nobody. Maybe nobody. That's okay. All right, so we have 3 options that people get to pick from. You could pick 2. You just have to go over to my Instagram and lob your vote over there. But 3 different choices. So the first choice is the traditional. I'm calling it rad traditional, radical traditional. And in the rad trad world, Daryl Lawrence is the pilot. He's the lore relevant pilot, right? And he is in the story, he's going to be there in the last days of the battle, and it's going to be a traditional scheme, right? So we're going standard colors, standard issue, standard, just the way that everybody expects to see it. That's what you're going to see with that method of operation. Except it's going to have nice weathering. It's going to look good. It's not like it's going to be dumpy or anything like that. And oh, that's just weird. Okay, so I created this thing. I have that little door that I spent so much time showing you, and now we have just covered the door up. Boo! Boo, I say. See? I will tell you, that's one fun thing about these kits, is that there's so much detail that nobody ever sees. But when you build it, you know it's there. And it's just so fun to know that that's there. Even though nobody ever sees it. And anyway, so yeah, rad, traditional. It's going to be the traditional colors. Red, orange. We're going to do some weathering as if it's been in battle. And that's what that scene's going to look like. Right? That's what the paint scheme's going to be. The second one is playing for the other team, is what I call it. So in that color scheme, we will find a it's probably a different pilot. I'm not gonna say it's Daryl. Sorry guys, if you're a real super hardcore traditionalist, you may not like that, but it's not going to be Daryl. But whoever it is has this clever idea that they can repaint the Zaku like a Earth Federation force, suit of some sort. Maybe it's the Thunderbolt. I don't know. We'll do something. But the idea is that it's going to be painted like an EFSF suit, or maybe in the process of being painted. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Hasn't even been chosen yet, quite frankly. So we don't really know what's going to happen there. But the idea is that it will be painted like an enemy suit, and he can sneak in behind enemy lines. He can sneak in, and he can get in there, and he can disrupt things because he looks like an EFSF suit. Never mind the fact that it's a Zaku, and that definitely doesn't look like anything Earth Federation. But that's okay. Right, go with me here. Use your imagination. So that's the second option, right? Your first option was was the classic rad trad traditional. Second option is playing for the other team, where you get to dress it up like it's part of the Earth Federation. And then the third option is hot rod, sort of off the showroom floor, right? Pristine. It's going to be a clean paint job. Everything about it's going to look brand new, fresh, like it's never been driven. Like this thing just rolled off the factory floor and has made it into the maintenance bay in preparation for it taking on its first mission. And because of that, it's in the maintenance bay, right? So that is the third option. Now, the key is, remember the theme. It's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Which means that this mobile suit, regardless of what paint scheme we go with, the mobile suit is going to have a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And it's going to be an industrial accident, workplace safety incident, perhaps, or something that causes this Psycho Zaku to have a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That is what you're going to see. And it doesn't matter what the paint scheme is. So if it's EFFs, if it's the playing for the other team, we paint it like a Earth Federation suit. And there's a storyline that will go along with that. We'll develop that storyline, to fit. If it's a rad trad, and we've got Daryl, in the suit, Daryl's gonna find his way into having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Which, if you haven't heard anything about if you don't know the lore, he's already given up. He's already a double amputee. He doesn't have legs, and then he gives up his arms. He becomes a quadruple amputee, so that he can pilot this suit. It's pretty terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day-esque, right? So it's not like he's had a great day anyways. However, that's the plan, right? So that's where it's going to go. He's going to have a pretty rough day, let me just tell you. And then if it's a the showroom piece, the off the factory floor, pristine, hot rod custom. If that's what that is, if that's what's chosen by people, then what we're gonna see is some way that accident plays out for a brand new machine, right? So that's how people are going to vote. People are going to pick. Right now, I don't even know. I haven't even tallied the votes so far. I've got a couple votes on Instagram, and I've got a couple votes in the gallery platform, which they have a platform, by the way, where all the model builders are posting things, showing their builds. And so everybody's in there. And so people in there are actually picking. So these are my competitors, right? And they're picking, which is actually sort of fun. It's sort of an exciting, fun thing to do, right? Like have folks that are competing against me getting to pick what I build. So crazy. Who does that? Apparently I do. But it's community involvement, right? That's the whole thing. That is the whole point of this whole day. And stretching ourselves, right? So I'm not totally signing up for things I don't think I can do, to be clear. But there are levels of difficulty, like had I done the crossbone, right? Like the build difficulty there, significantly different than the build difficulty of this dude, this Psycho Zaku, which, yeah, that's a bad picture of him. I mean, but he's huge. The dude's got these massive fuel cells and massive fuel cells. He's a beast. And so the build is difficult. It just means a lot more pieces, a lot more parts to work through. All of that, you know? But it is fun to get to offer people the ability to help pick and help decide what we do. And so that's what we're doing. This guy's coming along. He is coming along. Boom. Yeah. Yo. Pretty fun kit. More details. I feel like I might do some more panel creation, right? Like I feel like a couple more panels on here around this base part, but all that's for later. As I go through the processes, like my typical workflow is I do the snap build, like I'm doing right now, and then I do. I think I mentioned this earlier. I go through and I highlight areas. I will take a pencil, actually draw or mark areas that need work, right? So if I see something, like right here, this is a nub mark that needs to be taken care of. Yeah, there you go. You can see it right there. A little nub mark. Right. Now, I don't need it to completely disappear. I just need it to be smooth and flat. So when I paint and prime and paint this thing, it's gonna blend in. You won't be able to know it's there. But that's what I'll do. I'll go through and I'll go around the kit and I will identify areas that, hey, this needs attention. I also, while I'm doing this snap build, I'm always making mental notes in my mind about the same kind of things, right? So I'm sitting here going, okay, hey, you know what? This is something that needs work. These guys, those might be a little bit of a booger to get back out, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Little thrusters in there. This guy's got thrusters all around. I'm actually excited for that. So my thought process on the thrusters is, I think I'm going to try to do, instead of just painting them gold, I mean, it does sort of depend on what people pick for the paint scheme, but instead of just monotone, monochromatic, one color gold for those type of thrusters, I'm going to try the gradient. Now those ones may be a little tough because they're so tiny, but I'm going to try the gradient thing, right? I really love the idea that these thrusters, even if they're brand new, right, they've been fired, so they're not going to be the color of raw metal. They're going to have some kind of color to them, and so I'm going to, again, depending on what people pick, I am going to try to paint any of the thrusters on the kit as if they've been fired, right? Because even if somebody is just walking off the factory floor with this, it had to have been tested, it had to have been moved at some point, right? And so those thrusters, I would think they've been fired. So I'm looking forward to that because there's some cool techniques I've seen. I've not tried, but I've seen cool techniques that people use to make them look that way. And you know what? I always talk about how I am all about trying new things I want to see new things. I want to try new techniques. I want to do things in new ways. I want to learn something. Hey, Maxwell. Hang on. Maxwell, what are you doing? Bud, hey. Get out of there. Sorry. Our old dog decided he was going to make dinner time and get into the dog food bag. This is Louie. Louie is my bud, aren't you, Lou? Yes, you sure are, aren't you? And he likes to sit in my lap. He likes to always be with Dad. Don't you, bud? Okay. So one thing in this kit is these tubes are covered in this plastic sleeve. Let me show you this. Okay. They've got these plastic sleeves. And you bunch it up over the tubes. I'm not doing that right now. Okay. I've heard horror stories. And so I want to save that pain for later. That's my goal. Save it for later. We'll deal with it when it comes. Later on, it'll be okay. I promise it'll be okay. Right, Louie? It'll be okay, buddy. It'll be okay. And so we're going to wait on the painful sleeves. But that's okay. Because remember, this guy is going to be assembled and reassembled multiple times. This is not a one shot. He doesn't just get one chance to be put together. We will know him well after being done with his son. So with this pipe, in the end, that's going to have this plastic sleeve thing over it. You know, it looks like what you may see on spaceships. Put those over the pipes to keep them from freezing in the sub-zero temperatures that are outer space. I think it's sub-zero temperatures. I don't really know. That's fun, huh? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright. Louie, what's our next step, Louie? Oh, there we go. There we go. There's mini backpack. Oh, with these pieces too. It is nearly 8 o'clock my time. PM, that is. And these guys typically eat between 8 and 9. But at 8 o'clock, the dogs try to mutiny. And as you could tell, good old Max, he already said, forget you, I'm getting my own dinner. Which is pretty on par for him right now. He is 16 human years old. He is a super old dog. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull that polycap out. And put these pieces on first. Super old. And he is a Basset something mix. Maybe Basset Lab, maybe Basset Corgi. We really don't know. He, at one point, was about 55, 60 pounds, something like that. Maybe 55 pounds. And he looks like a short lab. I mean, that's really a good way to describe it. But he's got like Basset Hound legs. But he's old. And quite frankly, he just doesn't give a crap anymore. He just doesn't care. He's like, hey, you're moving too slow for me, which is ironic because he moves super slow. But, you know, he's like, hey, you're moving too slow. I'm getting my own dinner. Tough cookies. Alright, there we go. So these thrusters, man, like, can't wait to see those. I'll paint them gold, but then, like, inside, there'll be a tint to it, like a blue and red, you know, like those thrusters have been fired and ready to go. That's what we're gonna do with that. There it is. Check this guy out. How cool is it? It's a neat chess piece, let me tell you. Okay, what I'm gonna try to do here, folks, is, and I mean, I know you can't see this because you can't. That's okay. But I don't know. Where's the button? There was a button. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, we take some snapshots. I'm taking them from my website and Instagram. There we go. Chess piece. Done. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. What's up, Lou? Hey, buddy. What are you thinking? Oh, Louie. You're silly. You're a silly guy. Yes, you are. Hey, bud. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the YouTube. Looks like maybe 2 people watching. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me being in the channel and myself and I. Maybe that's all it is. It's not really somebody else. Let's see here. I don't feel like my chat box is working. That's a bummer. Let's see here. Let's check that out. I forgot about that. So I have this. There we go. I'll leave that on the screen. That's cool. There's my GWCC logo. Okay. That shows that we're doing this with GWCC. Okay. Next. The next step is really quite easy, Lou. It is quite easy. He says, you know what else is quite easy, Dad? If you fed food in my face. I know. Oh, did that startle you? I know. Now, I'm not getting rid of these because I may use them later. These pieces of paper to tell me which step they're on. I may use them later. Let's see. Entirely likely. I will use them later. Entirely likely. So I keep them as I build. We're going to work on the head now. Okay. Working on the head. This will be an easy one. The heads are always easy, right? Like, I mean, maybe not, but at least in my experience, they're always easy to put together. So, let's see here. What do we have? What do we have here? We got this piece. And that. And a poly cap in the middle. There we go. That's the poly cap. Alright, so this goes in here. Poly cap into this piece. And then this one. Okay. Some kind of tab in the back. Oh, I see it. Okay. Checking orientation of these can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Okay. Let me snip this guy in here. Yeah. Go. Bada bing. Do. There'll be articulation on the head, front and back. That's sweet. Nice. Nice. Okay. Next we take this piece. And put it over there. That's his chin. Oh, that's fun. There looks like, oh man. This is what I love. See in there? Looks like a hydraulic piston right in here. Again, when I go to paint, I'm gonna hit that little detail, and nobody's gonna see it. I'll know it's there. Louie will know it's there, won't you, Lou? He says, "Yes, I will. I'll know it's there." You see, Louie will know. Then he'll tell all his friends. You won't believe what happens in that little teeny tiny head. Put the mono eye in. Okay. If you've never seen one of these things before, they have it's called a mono eye. Uh-oh. Where's the piece I'm looking for? Uh-oh. Did we miss a piece? So this is why I don't put that right now. Because just identified a missing link. It's an L1. Hang on, Lily. I don't believe that I lost the piece. It's more likely that I failed to cut it off the runner. Retro reggae. You might be in trouble, guys. You're not going to be in trouble. We'll figure it out. Maybe it fell into a different container. Never fear. Been through this before. Well, it's not blatantly obvious there. Let me see here. Did not drop it, right? No, we did not drop it. Let's look back in here. Oh, parts number 2 right here. No longer in the container. Well, you know what? We're going to continue on. You know why? Because we are resourceful. And nothing else. I believe we can replicate that part. That will just be a note. Here we have a problem. We have a missing piece. A missing link. 135. You know, and I feel like I remember cutting that piece out even. But never fear. We're going to move on. Here's the deal. We sometimes have things that don't go right. And that's A-okay. Unfortunate sometimes, but that's okay. What we'll do is we're going to put it together. And we're making a note of that. Hey, we may be missing this part. And then we will start working on a solution. Yeah, luckily, so the part that is in question here. The part in question is this L135. Okay. This guy. Bingo. See, it's of all pieces to lose, that is by far the best one. Because I can literally use plastic tube to recreate that part. Right? The least of my concerns would be that part. If I lost something like this head or this clear round piece, then I'd be a little more worried. But you know what? Just kind of move on. This is what happens in this hobby, and it's okay. Okay, clear thing goes there. And then his head piece goes here. Nice. Alright. I'm actually impressed with how much that flicks back and forth. Right? He can shake his head yes and no. If you're not familiar with these kits, they have a sensor, a camera, instead of an eyeball. And it's called a mono eye. And it's right in the middle. It's sort of hard to see. But it's that little clear thing right in the middle there. That's how they see. It is. Okay. Next. This pipe goes here. Okay, so this pipe is going to go into that piece that we're missing. Right. Now, here's the other thing. I have a lot of parts. I have a lot of pieces. I easily could have jumped that part into a different bin in there, and it'll show up 3 or 4 steps down the road. No worries, guys. We're gonna make do. It's gonna go like that. then on the next step, we're going to lock in. That's going to go there. And then on the back, let's do some on the back right there. Okay. So imagine he's got the tube in the front connecting these two parts. There will be a tube there. Just imagine. Just imagine. Keep your mind open to your imagination. You ever seen the cup trick? Where people move the cups, put the little ball underneath the cup, and move it around. See if you can figure out where the ball is. Look what I just found. Oh, so funny. It was stuck under this thing. Go figure. Let's see. How does this go in there? There's two pieces, two nubs to pay attention to from the drawing. I see. I think I see. Okay. It's going to go like that. These pieces are going to go in there. There. Bump. Bump. Yes. And that piece is going to go there. Nope. Ben, you did not align that properly. Now we did. Bingo. Okay. Check that out. That's fun. Okay. Put the little helmet cap on. Boo. Boo. Don't like that cap. Oh. Sort of ugly. We're going to have to figure out how to fix that. And give him his antenna. It's an important part of this whole setup. We got out the antenna. There he is. There's the head. The head. Okay. Head. That. And nod up and down. This thing will allow him to move his head. Wiggle. Pretty cool. And the neat thing is, when you turn, oh boy, can you see this? Oh, maybe. When you turn the head, the mono eye moves. You see it in there? You turn the head, mono eye moves. You see it moving? It's a clear little thing inside the window. You see it moving? There it is. Turn the head, mono eye moves. That is a fun gimmick. I love that. And we're going to do that. Some kind of red. Oh, it's going to be cool. Gonna be cool. That's right, folks. It's going to be cool. All right, let's see. Let me grab some snapshots real quick. All right, time for some glamour shots. Glamour shots. Ooh, click. Shake it, shake it. All right. Looking pretty for the camera. Wait, there we go. Okay, a little bit of attitude. I should just look at the camera when I'm trying to position things. Because looking at the screen is so disorienting. It's so weird. Okay. Glamour shots are done. Good. Here we are. We've got the body, or the chest, and the head. Sick. There we are. There we are. All right. So here's the deal. It's 8:20 my time. I need to go make sure my kid is doing what he's supposed to be doing. I need to feed the dogs, do all the things that you do, and we'll continue this fun escapade later on. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I don't really know when. I feel like I probably need a schedule and block out a time to stream. It's not the only time I'm going to build. I'll be honest. If I wait to stream to build, I'm going to be slowed down quite a bit because there is extra setup involved. Let's not lie to ourselves. Extra setup, getting the cameras and things going, and my setup's sort of wonky at the moment. So, anyways, I'll be back. We'll build more parts. We'll keep working on this kit. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, go over to my Instagram at gunpla4joy. Subscribe and like on my YouTube. I've only got 5 followers right now, which is okay with me. I'm okay. Whatever. I'm not really seeking followers necessarily, but it would be fun to know that somebody enjoys it. So, yeah. But, anywho, I hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.